Hello and welcome to Mythical RC How-To series. Today I thought I'd demonstrate how to replace a one-way bearing insert. Now I don't know if you've either bought one of my one-way bearing inserts or whether you're thinking of buying one, but either way this video should show you how to fit one. So this is the insert and it goes into this bearing. So this is just one of an example of many bearings that it'll actually fit into. It's a standard size. So what we're going to do is we're going to drift out the bearing from the inside of this this hex nut, and then we're going to drift in this one. What I've done with all of the bearings that I sell is, if you look very carefully, you can see on the front the very edge is black on one side and is silver on the other side. So the black side always goes to the outside of the engine, it faces outwards, and the reason for that is so that when the starter shaft is inserted, the bearing, you can't really see that spinning in my hands, but the bearing will turn as in the pull start method. So when the pull start is pulled, the engine will turn in the right way. If you put the black face on the inside of the engine, then you'll be turning the engine the wrong way and it won't start. The pull start will just slip. So this particular bearing is knackered, and we can see that because if I put the starter shaft in, it'll actually turn both ways. Now it's trying to turn that way and release this way, but the bearing is gone, so we're going to replace this bearing. So I know that the front face of this is here, so that's where the black edge should go. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the bearing into a vise. We can either hold it by the flats, or this one has a little collar, so I'm just going to hold it by the little collar so I can tap it through. And then you need a suitable drifting tool. Now I tend to use an old extension bar, but you can use anything. Anything that's the same diameter as the bearing or slightly less than the diameter of the bearing. Not too big, otherwise you won't be able to drift it out. And all we're going to do is we're going to take a little hammer and we should be able to drift it out quite easily. And then you can see it's starting to go. So we're just going to knock it right through. There. And I've got it a bit stuck, but there we are. There is the old bearing and there is my hex nut. So all we need to do now is put a new bearing in place. I'm going to roughly position it so it's nice and round and nice and straight, and we're going to squeeze it in using the vise. We're just going to squeeze it into position. Now if you buy one of these bearings and you don't have a vise, or you don't have the facility to do this yourself, then you're welcome to send it to me and I'll do it for you. I'll do it as part of the cost of the bearing. All I ask is that you pay the return postage. So let's just very quickly wind it in. You can see it's lined up nice and straight. It won't go all the way through because this one is designed to sit slightly proud, but there we go. And you can see there the new bearing is in place in the hex, and if we put the starter shaft in, hopefully we can see now that works very well. And it's as simple as that. That is how to replace a bearing in a one-way starting system. And it's much cheaper just to replace the bearing than it is to buy the whole bearing assembly. So hopefully that's helped you. If you've had any questions, you're welcome to get in touch via YouTube. And thank you very much for watching. Thank you.